We have a little over 700 students, and so it's very difficult. Some of those students that struggle, sometimes they slip through the cracks because they're not behavioral problems necessarily, but they have other issues, maybe attendance, or maybe their grades are going down. And so one of the things, again, about the risk indicators that I really like about SmartData is the fact that you can see that in real time, and it gives you the information without having to comb through a lot of different reports and things like that. Since it ranks these kids based on risk assessment, I think it's a great tool that we were able to use to hopefully be able to address students' needs before they become major problems.
Well, the process before SmartData was, I would refer almost back to caveman days. We used pencil and paper, and you had that lag time where you're either standing there with a disruptive student while you're writing something out, or the student is in the hall. By streamlining this and eliminating the paperwork, the principal is immediately notified that there is a problem, the student is on their way, and if that student doesn't show up, then the principal knows to be looking for them.
As a special ed director, it's a district level role where I have to collaborate with about 10 different buildings, K through 12, and so that's 10 different leadership teams with different culture and different students that would be at risk. And SmartData allowed me to be able to have individual conversations instead of group principal conversations. I could have individual conversations about their individual students in real time. And so it allowed me to be able to make some corrections and really get our district out of disproportionality.
SmartData makes communication so much easier for teachers and administrators to work well with each other. Counselors can get in and look to see what parent contacts have been made in real time. Also, anytime an administrator wants to contact home, they're able to quickly and look to see what the attendance is like for that student. They can see if there's been any office discipline referrals recently, and also see that within offices in the school building, if counselors have made parent contacts or if a student has been in an office for any type of support.
SmartData, it's an easy go-to. Everything's in one place. Our RTI team, it's good to find those students at risk, with the click of a button. We can have the data ready. Even if I've got to get my RTI meeting together at the last minute, things come up. I can always just log into SmartData real quick. We can pull it up from there. And it's a great tool that helps teachers and most importantly helps students, because it's all about the students and getting them to where they need to be.
SmartData definitely is crucial in identifying those students who are at risk, and this has a direct correlation to how safe our buildings are. If we can have early identification of a student who is disengaging, then we can have early intervention to try and prevent some of the catastrophic events that we've seen happen. I love that the crucial student information is compiled in one location. I can very easily see the full picture of a student who is at risk or possibly on the cusp of being at risk. And I also know in what areas they are at risk, so I can very quickly get that information to the appropriate person in the district.
I would absolutely recommend SmartData. Like I said, it's all the information is in one place that you can need, where in the past I've had to go to Cognos or Triand or all those different places. This pulls everything together. Everything's just right there at the click of a button on a dashboard. We are very fortunate to be able to be partnering with them.
Artificial intelligence is one of those areas. We use technology to try to enhance our abilities as educators, especially when districts are trying to operate in a lean manner. We can use technology to take care of a lot of the clerical jobs that demand so much of our time. And with SmartData came along, it wasn't just that aspect. We really first started using it during the pandemic, when we had to figure out a way to keep up with our students who were learning at home and somehow track and monitor their learning and other needs that they may have. Then we discovered other tools in SmartData, such as tracking student discipline and also tracking our RTI process through SmartData, what interventions were being used and how effective they were.
The number one reason I use SmartData is to help guide my building level leaders on ways that we can support our students with discipline. Also, it allows me to work with our behavior specialists to provide tiered behavior supports early on with our students at risk. I'm able to be in those conferences and provide guided interventions to help the students stay in the environment that they're in.
One of the great features about SmartData is you can set up target groups. And one area that we'd like to target is our athletes, and to be able to track those students in real time on attendance, behavior, and grades. You know, with the intervention piece, with our mental health analysis and being able to track students' mental health issues that they have going on, we give another picture for people to look at. You know, the administrators, the school resource officers, you know, everyone involved, even your mental health people that's providing the services, you know, can see all those students that need help and make sure that they're getting the help they need.
In conversations with Harvey, I could see this going a really positive direction in how the way artificial intelligence works. It could pick up on patterns and correlations that we would never see and give us solutions that we have never seen in just looking at it through human eyes, but looking at it through the eyes of the data and the big data pools that are being collected. It was just really exciting for me to think about, so I wanted to be a part of it, get it in our district, and start using it.
One thing that I really love about my relationship with SmartData is they were very willing to customize exactly what I needed at that time, and it was to be able to see my students at risk in 3 different areas and have alerts, and so they customized all that for me exactly what I wanted. And so I think that just their ability to work with the individual on exactly what they need is a great asset.
One of the best things schools like about SmartData is in the student profile. It's different from elementary to high school. In the student profile, if you drill down, you can look at the child's record. It shows all previous assessments. So they can look individually from the beginning to where they are, and they can see, were they struggling? Did they need help? What areas they needed help in? Or if they were proficient and now they're not, they now know that something's wrong and where it's taken place.
Well, the best feature is the dashboard, where we get a visual of the data, especially on discipline. When I first opened SmartData, after it had done the first import of eSchool data, the first thing I noticed is our buses are where most of our discipline issues occur. So we have to do a better job at helping our drivers deal with student discipline. We're just a lot smarter about our decision making and problem solving because that data is at our fingertips. We might not have ever seen that because that would have never been pulled in an old paper-based system. Now we have this system of SmartData that collects the data and puts it all together for us.